Derick Dillard. TLC refused to pay my son's medical bills. Here we go again. Now that Derick Dillard has been fired by TLC, he seems to have an awful lot of time on his hands. And unfortunately for all of us, he has decided to fill his idle hours with obnoxious social media tirades. One would think that Derick might have learned his lessons about venting his frustrations on Twitter. After all, it was an online tirade directed at Jennings that got Derick canned in the first place. But it seems Derick's Twitter fingers remain itchy, and he just can't help himself from engaging in the sort of public debates that never change anyone's mind and serve zero purpose except to bring him further attention. Sometimes he hides his aggression with passivity, such as when he invited Jazz out for coffee earlier this week. What teenage girl doesn't want to grab a latte with a grown-ass man who has been harassing her on social media? But mostly, he's just an openly irate troll. Derick is very easily baited, and fans seem to be having fun rattling his cage these days. Your job is to protect your kids, not use them as meal tickets, one follower tweeted at Dillard earlier this week. Does that mean I shouldn't have gotten the hospital lunch while my son was in the NICU for 2 weeks? Derick responded in what appears to be a very dark attempt at humor. Now, this is the first time that Derick revealed baby Samuel was in the NICU after his birth, but that revelation was quickly overshadowed by Derick griping about how TLC didn't cover the unexpected hospital bills. We even requested that they help some of the medical expenses from the birth that they made a pretty penny on, but they refused to help cover any of those costs, he tweeted. It was close to a year before we made the last medical payment. Fans, understandably, were not outraged by the fact that Derick's former employer, who pays millions to his family each year, does feel compelled to cover every surprise expense that arises in his life. "Welcome to the real world. That is how it's done," one person commented. "Most of us plan our families around the ability to cover medical costs, food, shelter, clothing, etc.," she continued. TLC paid you for appearing on the show. It isn't their responsibility to pay costs from choices your family made. Failed home birth. Wait, they asked TLC, the production company, to pay the money over and above what was spelled out in their contract. That's not how it works, wrote another. "Man, he is really salty about being fired," remarked a third. "We imagine Jim Bob's not too thrilled with all these, as his official stance has always been that the family's primary objective in becoming television stars was to spread their spiritual message, not get rich. He has always maintained that the money is just a bonus that he and his many children could take or leave." Needless to say, the revelation that Derick is still stamping his feet over the fact that a cable network didn't pay for his son's medical bills kind of runs counter to the salt-of-the-earth image Jim Bob has worked so hard to cultivate.